To simulate this hazy impressionist style, you can use a couple of techniques in Photoshop. The easiest method is to use the pointillize filter, which instantly transforms the image into a pointillistic painting. But before we look at that, here are a couple of tips. First, duplicate the background layer. It's a good thing for two reasons. One, flexibility. If you don't like the effect, toss the layer and start afresh. Two, you have access to layer blend modes and opacity control, which can enhance the artwork considerably. Another tip is to work with a higher resolution image for this filter. This filter can sometimes produce a coarse, squiggly effect on a lower resolution file. You can always resample afterwards to a lower resolution. Choose Filter, Pixelate, Pointillize. This filter uses the background color to specify the appearance of the holes that'll show up when you apply this filter. In this case, the holes are white because we have white as the background color. I'll change the background color to something else before running it. This filter used the specified cell size to break up the image into the pointillized look. And there it is. There are at least two ways to improve the appearance from here. To remove the milky appearance, change the layer blend mode to hard light. If that seems too extreme, you can remove the filter effect from the shadow regions to add some snap back to the image. In Layer Options, add back from the underlying layer. And here's a quick before and after. Next, we'll take a look at a new tool in Photoshop 5.5, which is the upgrade, that gives us yet another pointillistic technique. In this image, I'll create a blank new layer on top of the existing artwork and fill it with a color. This is now the canvas for my painting based on the contents of the underlying layer. In the History palette, set the history source to the original snapshot at the very top. In the Tool palette, choose the new Art History brush hidden behind the History brush. The Art History brush lets you paint with stylized strokes using data from the indicated source state, which we have set to be the original snapshot. In the Art History brush options, set the blending mode and opacity, which I'll set to normal and 100% for now. Right below are the style settings, which in turn produce different artistic effects. I'll set it to dab, which produces a pointillistic effect. Color fidelity allows the effect to either reproduce the original colors faithfully or it deviates and chooses random colors. Area determines the area covered by the paint strokes. Set the tolerance to a mid-low value. A higher tolerance lays down fewer strokes, as it examines the difference between the colors in the two states. As I paint on the new canvas, the Art History brush uses these settings to reproduce the colors and textures from the selected history state, which happens to be the original snapshot. You can vary the brush to produce a different effect. You can load the natural brushes that ship in the Goodies folder with Photoshop. And you'll start to see the subtle differences on the output. To impart a more painterly look, you can reduce the color fidelity to deviate the colors from the original source image. You can also change the blending mode for the painting. For instance, lighting will affect more of the colors, since all the colors in the source are lighter than the canvas color, which is black. And you can see how far you've come along by viewing the previous layer.